And just like that, we are back for yet another Savage stream. How's that sound? Does that sound all right? All right, so Swap has a small update. We're going to talk about Swap in a minute, but they have a small update to their pool. I think that they're working on even larger updates, like especially with the interface. And the picture that I saw was really cool. It looks like they're really doing a lot with the user interface, the graphical user interface. So it looks pretty cool. We are going to set that up, the MicroPool, using version 1.4.1, I believe. And we're going to set that up using, or we're going to use HASH8 OS from the get-go, burning the USB and everything. And we're going to get that up and running using the Swap MicroPool. So we are going to have to go so fast. We're going to use Gminer as the miner, NVIDIA GPUs, and we're just going to have to crank right through this. So let's just jump right into it. Now, we do assume, or this video assumes, that you have a Swap wallet already, that you have an address, you know, that you want to mine to. Okay, so it assumes that. It also assumes that you have a rig, a GPU rig that you want to mine with using HASH8 OS, and it also assumes that you have a Windows 10 machine where you can. Now I'm using Windows 10. Windows 10 machine that you can use to be left powered on for the duration of the mining, so that it can actually run the MicroPool, because you have to leave the machine up and running. So let's start with HASH8 OS. Let's go to their website. We go HASH8, it's at HASHR8.com. You click on HASH8 OS right here, and then it brings you to the os.hash8.com, and then you click on begin. And then if you're not registered already, you have to register. So you would go through this process. Now I'm already registered. There's a confirmation email that you'll get, and you have to check your spam folder or your junk folder, whatever you want to call it, because that email often ends up in there. So if you're not receiving the email, then check that folder. I know that they were having a problem at one time with the emails not going out. The registration emails weren't going out, but I think that they've got that resolved. So once you get it up and running, or once you get registered, you'll log in and it'll look like this. You'll be at accounts.os.hash8.com. It'll actually look like this initially, and you'll have I think it'll say default right here, I believe is what it'll say. So you can rename your little cluster whatever you want by clicking the pencil and then renaming it and clicking save. So once you get that done, you would go to dashboard. You're not going to see any rigs. You can see I cleaned this up so that we can make it look as realistic as possible. So I'm actually going to add a rig manually. So you go to rigs here and then add a rig. And we'll give it a name. This rig's name is Kessel. And the description is, we'll say NVIDIA 6X10 XX series. Sounds good to me. And then a password, whatever you want. And then quantity of the cards, we'll put in 6, because that's how many GPUs are in this rig. And then save. All right, so now we have a rig actually in here. So if we go back to dashboard, we'll see it. So here's the rig. Now we have to get some information off of it to put into the configuration file on the miner, okay, or on the OS. And this is where, if you were doing this for real, you would never show this information. I'm going to be deleting this rig, so don't try to steal it from me. I think, let me pull this over here just to make sure, because I never know what it's going to actually show. Okay, so here we go. That's okay for me to show you that. All right, so this little token right here, the rig token, that's the basically private information. So you're not going to want to show that to anybody. No tech support is going to ask you for that or anything like that. But we are going to copy that, right? And I mean, we might have to come back here and grab it anyway. But we also need to download the image. You can see right here, there's a download button. You click download and you click OK, and then it will open up a window to download it. You can see I've already done it, so we're skipping that part. And then we need to use a tool to burn that image to a USB. The USB I'm using is just a Samsung 32 gig. It's pretty fast though, because it's 3.1. So I think that it'll go pretty quick. And while we're burning the image, we'll do some other things. All right. So we have to use Balena Etcher, or you can use other tools, but I use Balena Etcher. So you can search, you can do a Google search for Balena Etcher, but it'll look like this. So then you're going to click select image, select the image. It's a zip file. No need to unzip it or anything like that. Just click it and click open. And then I'm going to insert the USB drive. And then you see it shows up in here. If it doesn't, if you've got a lot of drives attached, you know, or USB drives, external type, then you might need to click change and actually choose the right drive. I know that this is the right drive. And if you want to not have to worry about ejecting or reinserting the USB after it finishes, come up here to the tools and uncheck. That's the default right there. It'll look like that. Actually, it'll look like that by default. I always turn those both off so that I can just get right to the drive and not have to worry about unplugging it and plugging it back in. All right, so okay, and then we're going to flash. It's going to come up with this little warning. You say yes and off and running. Okay, so while that's going on, let's quickly cover what SWAP is all about. So SWAP is a proof of work coin that's based on peer-reviewed and approved technologies, and the team is always committed to having a decentralized, efficient, and stable network. It uses CryptoNote protocol for transactions and their very own Kukuru proof of work algorithm called Kukuru29S. I think you can search it on WhatToMine just using Kukuru29. I think it's the same calculations in there. And those two, having a separate Kukuru mining algorithm and a CryptoNote protocol for the transactions makes it a hybrid coin. Both the protocol and algorithm have both been peer-reviewed by the community, and it's also what I like to call a quad zip coin, meaning no pre-mine, no ICO, no founder's reward, or governance fees are built into it. So that's just a little bit about it. Wow, that was super fast. Okay, so the burn is already done. So let's go ahead and, or the image, yeah. So we'll get out of there. We'll go over here to Windows Explorer. I think the first time you click on it, if it looks like this, at least this is the way mine operates. I don't know how yours will, but the first time I click on it, it's going to give me an error. You just say okay, and then you see that it's over here. So you could probably just do like a refresh and it would probably clear that up. But you click on Mining OS, and then you're going to go into, and remember this is HASHR8 OS, you're going to go into config, and then you've got this little token.txt file. So you're going to open that up, you're going to right click and paste your token in there. And remember, we grabbed that from the OS, it's over here, right here. All right, so we're going to paste that in there, then we're going to file, save, and then we will right click, eject, and then we'll be able to boot our rig off of that. Right now I have it running, actually this rig is actually running NiceHash. Let's go ahead and, I don't even think I can shut it down from here. I think I have to just do it. So let's do that. And it's right here next to me, so it'll be fine. And then I'm going to remove the USB and I'm going to boot the rig off of that instead. All right, so USB inserted, rig turned back on, and then it'll probably show up in here. And you can see the default is Claymore, so it's going to try to mine ETH by default. But we're going to fix that pretty quickly. So, all right, so yeah, that went super fast. The whole burning thing. All right. So if the links are in the description as far as this information, you know, the website and some of the links to the different things that are in here. Good website, really informative if you want to learn about SWAP and all of that stuff. There was a Q&A that Mr. Backwards did with the lead dev and founder of Swap, Sebastian Green. And this article goes all through basically what Swap is all about, which is really cool. They have a lot of information in here, so if you want to check that out, the links are in the description as well. Pretty informative situation here, so be sure to check that out. And let's see here. I do want to point out, okay, so some key features that were discussed in the Q&A are that Swap has 15-second block times and extremely fast share validation. And those features offer like a really smooth and fast network. And that fast validation enabled with the Kukuru 29S algo, allows for even small pools to be competitive and hit frequent blocks. All those factors and performance benefits led to the development of the MicroPool, which we'll talk about tonight, by core dev and founder Seb Green, that allows you to easily set up and be your own pool, which is really cool. Plus, your transactions should be, with that whole efficient setup there, your transactions should be fully confirmed in under 2.5 minutes. You'll see the transaction in 15 seconds or so, but it'll be fully confirmed after a couple minutes. And that means that with 15-second block times, that means there are around 5,600 blocks per day, which means basically every miner can find blocks every day, almost no matter what your hash rate is or your GPS is, graphs per second. When I was mining Swap with this same GPU rig here, last year I was hitting like 20-25 blocks a day, with the block rewards of 2, which they are right now, that's about 40 Swap a day. Which isn't terrible. I think back then, I want to say that the block reward was a little less, so I think it was like 32 Swap a day or something like that, average. Not terrible, and so it's something really to think about if you are looking at mining Swap. I mean, and you have a machine that you can leave on. Mining to the MicroPool is pretty cool. It's definitely a neat setup that will allow you to hit a lot of blocks and hopefully earn more than what you would if you were in a regular pool. Although that's not really the way it works, because in the long run it all works out anyway, right? Based on difficulty and luck factor and all that stuff. So all right, so let's see here, where are we at? Let's go and look at the hash rate. It is up and running, so we see that it's online, so we'll come back to that in a minute. Let's see, we covered what Swap was and how the MicroPool can work efficiently mining Swap. So as miners, let's think for a moment about all the benefits of having and running your own pool and not having to rely on a third-party pool. So some of the benefits, no fees, no hash power skimming. There's almost zero ping time. That's like way less than 1 millisecond if you're on the same network, which is awesome. You don't have that problem of stale shares or rejected shares typically. Basically all the work that's done, all the hash power that you put is acceptable shares, and even small amounts of hash power can find blocks. Another really awesome thing to think about is how mining to your own pool decentralizes the network even further, basically taking things all the way back to when there were no pools at all and all the work was done solo mining, like Satoshi's original vision, right? So this is like decentralization at its best, because you're running your own pool and you're running your own miner, and it just works out really cool. The key components of the Swap MicroPool are the Swap daemon itself and the MicroPool executable itself. You must have a synced Swap daemon before you can attempt to mine using it, right? With the MicroPool, you need to see this synchronized OK in green right here. You need to see that in your Swap daemon before you even start trying to use the MicroPool. And it kind of makes perfect sense if you think about what you're doing on the blockchain with the pool, because you're connected to the blockchain. And if you aren't 100% synced with the network, then how do you expect to submit work performed on new blocks And how could you even know about the blocks if you weren't fully synchronized, right? It wouldn't make sense. And so swapd, the daemon, is downloaded with the swap wallet, but you can copy the exe anywhere you like and run it from there. So you've got the wallets over here, and I didn't realize this, but there I have an older one. I have the 3.0. I'm sorry, 3.10. I have this one, or 3.1. So I have this one. There is a new one, but I was looking at it and I'm like, I don't really need to update, I don't think, because it's a point release that just fixes several warnings and stuff. So I'm okay with it. I'll just leave it like that. I was like, man, now I'm going to have to do a wallet update too, but I think we'll be okay, because all we really need from it is a address anyway. So you can see here I've got the swap daemon running. It's all good to go. And let's see here. So I think we are good to go as far as to go get the MicroPool. Now I already have one installed and running, but there's an update. This is like 1.4.1, I believe. So let's go to their website and we'll click on Get Started. We'll go to Pools. And then you see right here 1.4.1 solo mining. And there's 2 versions, and then a how-to guide. The how-to guide is pretty nice, so be sure to check that out if you run into any problems with this. They walk you through this. Pretty clear. I think I had that up just a minute ago, yeah. So it's basically the same thing. The portable version runs basically just an executable. I don't think it stores settings. I can't remember, but it might. But I seem like it doesn't. I think you have to like let it through the firewall each time and stuff like that. If you run the setup version, it actually installs some files to the machine, and I believe that the settings through the firewall will be preserved as well. So we're going to grab the setup version. We're going to save that. Now, if you go out to the actual GitHub, then it will, let's see here. Where is it? Where is it? Where is it? Because that's pulling it off of their website right there. But if you go to the GitHub, you can see it's MicroPool 1.4.1. Talks about some information, and this is only 4 days old. I think they are working on a even slicker looking version. You can kind of, I took a little screenshot of what it might look like. This was off of their Discord, so this is pretty cool. I like this interface. It's got a nice help feature over here. Probably basically the same thing that's going to be in the a lot of this same information that's over here, most likely. But yeah, it's nice to have help, built-in help feature. That's cool. All right, so we are going to look at this. Now I already downloaded it, but what we always want to do to verify that we are not downloading malicious software, we want to verify it. So you can see right here, this is the setup, the hash from the setup file as per the LP Hein, I guess, I don't know, probably butchering that name, but we are going to verify this super fast here. So we're going to go up here, we're going to type in PowerShell, bring up PowerShell in that folder. So what we're doing is verifying that the executable that we downloaded hasn't been tampered with as per the GitHub repository for the file itself, which is up here. All right, so we're going to type in, let's see, we've got the executable. So I think we can just drag this over here, click and drag it. So that'll get the path and everything. And then we'll just say git, I think it's dash file hash. Can I spell? I think it's like that. And then we press enter. And now we have a file hash SHA-256, so we can compare them. So if you can just put it like this and kind of look up and down from here. This is what we're looking at right here, and verify this number with this number. Now I can tell you that if there was 1 bit that was different in this file, so in other words, if what was uploaded to GitHub didn't match what you downloaded, then this number would be completely different. It would not even be close. So you know, you can just glance at it and kind of verify, you know, verify the last 5, the last 6, the last 7 digits, first 7 digits or so, and you should be good, because there's no way that even if 1 bit was changed, this number would not be anywhere close. So we validated the download. That's strong. That's good. We are off and running now. So now we're going to actually run that to install it. So let's go ahead and run it as administrator. We're going to need to let it through the firewall here. Come on, bring it up. Bring it up. There it is. All right, so it installed and it's already running. And you can see here where it's actually pulled the information from the settings that were already on my system. All right, so that's okay. I didn't really want that, but it's fine. We can do it this way. And you can see where they are going to have an update here, because there'll be a help feature right here, plus improved looks, you know, graphics and stuff up here. So the new one should be pretty cool. I think it's gonna. This is the new one. I guess they had to release this one, this newer version, to fix some things with the blocks. I believe. I think the blocks weren't showing up right or something. The height. So anyway, so you might be wondering, okay, so where are these settings? Where does it pull those settings? If I need to change it, or if I want to remove those settings and start fresh, which we probably should have, but that's okay. If you go to your Explorer and go to %app data %, press enter, and then you'll go to swap MicroPool, and then storage. And there's basically 4 JSON files, JavaScript object notation files here. And you can see how they kind of match up with the settings. You've got daemon host here. That's this right here. Daemon port, that's this right here. Mining address is up here. And pool port is right here. So if you went into each one of these and opened them with, say, Notepad, you would see that particular number. So this is the pool port, 14650. So you can see that right here, pool port, 14650. If you were to change it over here manually and then relaunch the swap MicroPool, close it and relaunch it, it would start up with the new port number in there, right? Or whatever you changed in here, it would start. So it would change it. All right, so we now have a running MicroPool. All right. So we're going to close down all this stuff and get back to HASHR8 OS. I think I can close pretty much all of this. So we're going to go right here. Now, this is fresh. There are going to be some wallets in here. I don't have a swap wallet in here though. So we're going to add that. So we're going to go to wallets, and then you could start a new wallet. So we'll do that just for the heck of it. I deleted the old YouTube wallet, so we'll do that. Add wallet. Now you have a brand new wallet. So if you cancel this, you can see the wallet in here. YouTube right here. So we're going to edit that. And a wallet is a grouping of coins, which makes perfect sense, right? I mean, you have different currencies inside of a wallet, potentially, you know, quarters, pennies, whatever, dollar bills. So that's the way they kind of look at it, as it's its own thing, right? So a wallet contains other coins, whereas typically we don't look at it like that as crypto and miners and all that. We kind of think of a wallet as the address itself, but this was kind of cool the way that HASHR8 OS did this. So we're going to add a coin. We're going to go swap, select the coin. I think you can go XWP here. Yep. All right, select the pool. Okay, here's where I messed up, because I should have deleted that swap MicroPool. All right, so let's do this. Let me see if I can do this real quick. Custom mining, pools, swap MicroPool. All right, so I'm gonna get rid of this. All right, so in order to do this with HASHR8 OS, you have to add a custom pool. So once you get to here, you've got actually it yeah, it's going to exit out of that part, so we have to actually come back into that too. But you'll need to go to custom mining first, because your pool isn't going to show up in the list for HASHR8 OS, right? It's just not going to show up in there. So you have to go back here and go to custom mining, pools, add a pool, and then we'll go swap MicroPool. And then the template, what I do, and I've had pretty good success with it, is just bring up the help over here and kind of go with the template. So the ewall for the template for the wallet, you just go ewall %ewall and then %, and then I think, well, we don't even need to do the rig name or anything like that. So the URL template, we will go with %URL, %. Auth type, I think I always did this as wallet. And some of this might not matter because we're using the MicroPool. Pool mode, we'll use default. Connection type, default. And then the URL. So the URL is going to be the machine that you're running the MicroPool on. It's that IP address, okay? So if you need to find your IP address on your local network, you can bring up command prompt and just type in ipconfig, and you can see it. Looks like this. You can see where I just ran ipconfig, so I know I'm 1.115 on this machine here. So we're going to go 192.168.1.115, and then the port, we have to add the port in here. And remember, on our MicroPool, we've got the port. The pool port is 14650. 14650 here, and then save. And then we have to go back over to wallets, and let's close this help. And then we're going to add the swap coin now, because now we have the pool. So we're going to add the coin, swap XWP. The pool is the swap MicroPool, which we just made. Put a check mark next to it. The wallet is our wallet address, which we're going to get that from over here. You can get to their wallets off of their main page as well. And then the miner, I would recommend using Gminer. Seems to work really well. So we'll save that. So now we're all set up there. So now we go back to dashboard. See that we have, you know, the old settings in here also. So now we have to click mining. Actually put a check mark here. Action. Mining. Always forget. And then OK here. Choose our wallet. I know I'm going super fast, but you know, play it at half speed or something. So YouTube, wallet, swap, Gminer, apply to all. That's going to restart the miner, and then we should, within a fairly short amount of time, we should be able to see some activity here and maybe get some hash rate and whatnot. We can check our pool, not hash rate, but graph rate, I guess you could say. And then over here, we should be seeing some, I think the indication is connected miner, I think. Yeah, there we go, boom, miner connect, and then a share. See, so we are actually submitting shares. And then if you look right here, it'll show you how many blocks you found, shows you how many shares you submit, your graphs per second, which is 27, which is decent, and all the other pertinent information. You got one worker. So we are up and running, and we did it in 30 minutes. 30 minutes from scratch, all the way, like installing HASHR8 OS all the way, and the MicroPool, creating a custom pool, getting it up and running, getting HASHR8 OS configured properly, coin added, all that stuff. We did everything in 30 minutes. That's awesome. That's pretty slick. I like that. Let me do a little refresh here so we might be able to see some information here. Yeah, there we go. We got 31 graphs per second here. So killing it. And it does match over here. See the 32. So that's awesome. And with 15-second block times and the Kookaroo 29S, you're probably going to see blocks pretty frequently. You know, so that's good. Kind of surprised we haven't hit one yet, to be honest, but you know, you never know. All right, let's see here. What you guys talking about over here? All right, does anybody know? Hey, thanks, Crypto Mining Lifer. Does anybody know if Brandon Coin's going live? Let's find out. I know he's been busy. Everybody's been busy, but he's doing the whole wedding thing, so he definitely has other things on his mind. So I'll stick around here for a couple minutes here, and we'll kind of play around with this and see what we come up with as far as, see if we can hit a block before we get off of here. That would be kind of neat. We can also take a look at profitability. So we go 31, just remember we got 31 graphs per second at about 690 watts. I can check it at the wall. Let me make sure it's close at the wall here. So at the wall, it is 973, 950. All right, so we'll call it 960 at the wall. So hash rate is showing that, so it's what, about 160 off. I think I can change that in, I don't want to do it because I think going to the rigs system info tab right now, if I went here, there's a lot of information in there that I shouldn't show. Wow, those temperatures are up there. Probably, yeah, see the fans are pretty low. So let's, don't have any tune. Yeah, there's nothing in here for, let's go, auto fan is in there. All right, well, I'd probably, yeah, I don't know what's going on here. Let's turn this off. Let's turn that off real quick. It's getting a little warm. It's a little warm in the room, but normally what it seems like is that the fans are, I mean, that's not, it seems like I think this happened before. I believe all I had to do was actually restart the rig. I don't remember. Seems like that's all it was restarting. It's almost like the auto fan didn't kick on because you saw the fan speeds were at like 40%. All right, so I just turned it off, turn it back on. Let's see what that does. We'll come back to that in a moment. I was gonna go on to something else. Oh, profitability. So also we'll look at what Swap is doing today as far as value goes. It's up a little bit. We'll go max here. They had that crazy run last year. Looks kind of bottomed out. I don't know. I'm not an analyst, but anyway. All right, so they're under 5 cents. Let's go to WhatToMine, and we can plug in 32 graphs per second. And then we'll go, the power was like 900, right? Actually it was 950, I think, at the wall, which seems like a lot. Then we'll go over here, put in the correct power. That's 10.3 cents for me. You can see the 2 XWP block reward. Just leave it like that. Calculate. Looks like about 50 cents a day. $3 a week with this one rig. 13, at least we're not losing money, right? But I mean value anyway. So we're actually gaining a little bit there. All right, so man, this sounds so familiar. It sounds like the fans are kicking up this time though. All right, so let's see what happens here. That one GPU, I need to repaste this one, I believe. I've done it twice. But man, that thing just hits the max power on the fan all the time. It is, the ambient temperature in the room's like 87 degrees because I have the door shut. So whenever the door is open to the office here, these go down a little bit. Definitely because of the ambient room temperature. You can see the fans are going to 100. Okay, so we're good. But we don't have any overclock settings or anything like that in here, so we can probably play around with this for a minute. So if we go to, let's go to Overcooked Panda's website here. I say website, but his database for overclocks. We'll plug in, start with a 1070 on XWP29S. It's actually in here. That's nice to see. Search. So we'll go 200 on the core, 1120 on the memory, and 120 power limit. That's what it is there's no power limit in here right now. So on the tuning side. So there's a 1070. Here's a 1070. We'll go, was it 200? I forgot already. 200, 1120, 120. And then we'll go 65 on the target temp. All right, and then we'll go 1070 Ti's. I'm going to be 180, 600, 100. And these are just like beginning, beginning numbers just to get you started. 180, 600, 100. Which that's really low for a TI, but I'll go with it, whatever. Hey, what's up, Nefarious? Apply that. And then we got the 1080s left. So we'll go over here. 1080, nothing on there. So what I'll do is I'll duplicate the 1070 Ti on the 1080. So we'll go 180, 600, 100, maybe go 110 on the 1080, 65. Apply, and then once you get it like that, and you see this little asterisk right here, the little red star, that means that you still need to click Update Rig, because if you don't do that, if you just exit out of here, you haven't done anything, right? So you have to click Update Rig before it'll actually apply those overclock settings to your GPUs. So now we should see quite a bit of difference here, because it was basically giving it everything. It was giving it all the power and all that stuff. So I think that this will be good once those settings get in there. I think we'll see some improvement here. Probably drop the graphs per second quite a bit, but we're also going to drop power. We're going to drop fan speed. We're going to drop all kinds of stuff. So it's all about that efficiency. Yeah, see, this is showing 29 now, which that's not a huge drop. I mean, we were at 32. But we were at 32 at a huge power draw. We were at 900. Now we're at 750. So now if we come back over here, oh wow, it jumped back up to 30. And even right here it's showing 30. So we didn't really lose anything. Maybe a couple, but that's not bad. Okay, I can deal with that. So we're gonna go, we'll call it 31, because this is showing 32, this is showing 30. Actually, this is bouncing back and forth between 33 and 34. We'll call it 33. So 33 at 753 at the wall. So 33 here, 753 at the wall. Calculate. This is going to look a lot better. Yeah, so $1 a day $8 a week, $32 a month. Not bad for a little 6 GPU rig. I know that's nothing like it was a couple of years ago, but you know, it is what it is. We aren't in 2017 anymore. We have to deal with it. You know, as long as you're not losing money at this point, if you're doing it as a hobby, then you're probably okay. I'm okay with, you know, $7.59 a week or $32 a month. That's not bad, in my opinion. All right, so that's cool. We are at 10:11, so we're coming up on like 41 minutes, but we did, which was awesome, we did get done with the whole process. We installed HASHR8 OS from scratch. We set up a rig inside of HASHR8 OS, showed you how to edit the token.txt file to, you know, link it up with your account in HASHR8 OS so that it shows, so that the rig shows up in there. And then we downloaded MicroPool. We even verified the exe, the hash, the file hash. We verified that. We installed it. I showed you where the configuration files are, so that's cool. Then we booted the rig off of HASHR8 OS, configured it, added a pool manually. We had to go into HASHR8 OS and actually manually add the pool because it's not going to exist in there because, you know, it's your own pool. So we had to come in custom mining and actually add it. Add the pool. And then we monitored the pool, so we saw what it looks like here. So that's cool. Still surprised that we haven't hit a block yet. Normally it does. I know that as soon as the stream ends, as soon as I click end stream, it's going to hit a block, and you'll be able to see it right here. But I think it's kind of cool whenever it does it. I think it says something in here about hitting the block. I can't remember what it actually shows in here. But if you go to the blocks tab over here, it'll show up in here as well. Like if you do actually hit the block. What else do? We talked about swap a little bit, fundamentals and whatnot, and yeah, cool stuff. Awesome. Does anybody have any questions? I know I did not pay attention to chat very much because we had to go so fast. So that is why we did not. Or I wasn't really interacting with the chat too much here. But I don't see any questions. I think you guys are pretty well satisfied here as far as the content goes. So if you did find it entertaining or educational in any way, or maybe you learned something small, I don't know. Maybe you didn't learn anything. Maybe I'm just sitting here talking to nobody. I don't know. But whatever it is, if you thought it was interesting, at least smash the like and share the video to any of your swap army. And yeah, cool stuff. Yeah, this was a good one, Nefarious, because we did everything in 30 minutes. We did it like it was almost exactly 30 minutes. So it was pretty cool that we got all that done in under 30 minutes. Or right around 30 minutes. Cryptdeath, I do not know. Hey, what's up, Freaksin? I do not know. I know I went super fast, right? I mean, that was like blazing fast. I don't know what the average would be. You would have to... I think their new pool, the new interface is actually going to show you like a effort level up here. And effort is basically the pool's luck factor on the network. So it's like the number of submitted hashes divided by network difficulty. And then that result shows you the effort the pool has to provide to find a block, statistically speaking. So if the pool is showing 300% effort, and let me show you what I'm talking about here, because it's not on that pool. You have to go to the way the new one is going to look. You can see right here it says current effort. Let me see if I can zoom this a little bit. Yeah, you can see right here it says current effort, average effort. So if the pool is showing 300% effort, for example, if this showed 300% right here, then that means that the pool took that it took the pool 3 times as many hashes as it should have taken to find the block. So it was unlucky in that particular time frame. Okay, and this mainly deals with PPLNS pools, and something that's governed by either a block or a block time, or not block time, but a number of blocks or a time period. But just realize that if you see like a number that's over 100%, then that's actually bad. Okay, so 300% effort, that means it took 3 times as long as it should have based on your hash rate. If the pool is showing like a 33% effort, then that means that it took 1/3 of the time it's statistically supposed to find the block, which is pretty lucky, right? And I can tell you that in the MicroPool, oftentimes I was getting very lucky, very, very lucky. I think it will show you your luck factor. Whenever you actually hit a block, it'll show the luck factor in there, so that's cool. And you can see how lucky you were, right? Yeah, it's going to show you that out here on the new interface, it looks like. So that's really neat. I'm looking forward to this interface here. So as far as how many you're supposed to find, I mean, if you go to WhatToMine and plug in your data, right? So if you go right here, I already plugged in the data for my hash rate, and it's based on your hash rate. It's based on your graphs per second in this case, because you're mining Kookaroo. So it's done in graphs, not hash, but it's calculated the same with this particular calculator. That's the only way that you know what your estimated rewards are going to be. So if you look at your estimated rewards right here, and you've got the appropriate information up here, okay, then you can look at how many per day here. So it looks like you should get about 78 per day. So if you are running the MicroPool and you let it go for a day with that hash rate and you don't get 78, I would be surprised, right? Or around 78. It's not going to be completely accurate, but you're not going to want to get 1 or 2, right? You're going to want to get at least, I would say, somewhere between 60 and 90. Okay, so some type of a range around that number per day. So that's the way that kind of works. Man, I was really wanting to hit a block here. Come on, little rig, hit a block. Let's see here. Let's go over here to hash rate. We'll go back over here and look at the dashboard and see if we're all settled down as far as temperature goes. Yep, all 65, which is what I have it set to. So that's not bad. So we're good there. Pretty solid. I'm okay with that. Not 100% fan speeds or anything crazy like that. So this is not bad. I could probably get, fine tune the TI and the 80. Maybe get a few more a few more graphs out of them, but that's not really what this stream was about. The stream was kind of a challenge to see if we could do all that in 30 minutes. So kind of neat. Still no blocks. I'm telling you, as soon as I end the stream, it's going to come over the block. I'm going to let it go for a couple more minutes here. Basically, with this rig, I should get between 20 and 30. Actually, no, I should get around 78, right? Because I did those calculations. So it must have been, compared to the old difficulty, it must have, the difficulty must have been down compared to my last video on this, because I think I was getting 20 to 30. So the difficulty must have dropped quite a bit. All right, what are y'all chatting about over here? Hey, what's up, Super Circles? Oh, so there is a new MicroPool. Super Circles, thanks for tuning in, man. Yeah, I got the image from the Discord. I like the interface. It looks really neat. But yeah, as far as we didn't compile anything or anything like that. So hopefully you make it easier on us non-dev folks who were able to actually get the new MicroPool running. Once you do, let me know, and I will I'll throw it on a video. All right, I'm going to end it here because I don't want my videos to be too long or anything. But thanks for Super Circles. He's a swap dev, man. That's awesome that you showed up in here. Cool of you. Yeah, I don't want my videos to go too long anymore. I gotta kind of keep them shorter. So that's why I was trying to get it done in 30 minutes. Eventually, if I stop rambling and I stop looking at chat, I will be able to literally at 30 minutes just click in stream and be done with it. But I'll see you guys tomorrow night. Hopefully y'all have a good night. Stay savage, everybody. Sorry, I didn't have my mic on. I told y'all as soon as I hit end stream, it was going to find a block. All right, so let's check this out. So you see blocks found right here. So if you go to blocks, you can see the luck factor here is 55%, 55.66%. Shows you the block height, you know, the block number here that this little 6 GPU rig was able to write to the blockchain forever. Immutable. So this little 6 GPU rig found this block, was able to add it to solve it and add it to the blockchain, and that was a luck factor of 55%, which means that it was that twice as fast as what it should have based on the hash rate that I have, or the graph rate that I have. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe it had to do with the stream. I don't know. So yeah, cool stuff. All right, so I'm not gonna do the outro or anything like that again. I'll just end the stream. But thanks for coming back in here and checking that out, because that's pretty neat that it actually did that. Because I said it would.